Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Doshima. On this channel, I love to speak about relationships and helping people to build marriages that last. I have been happily married for 19 years and I use this platform to share inspirational stuff for both singles and married. I thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time here, welcome. Kindly click the subscribe button and leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this video. And I thought to do this video on 19 lessons I have learned in 19 years. Of course, I've learned more than 19 things, but I just got certain key things that I think can be helpful to every other relationship and people that have been in long-term marriages. So in this video, I may be taking just the first 10, and then I'll do another video where I'll take the remaining 9. Number 1, marriage is a bed of roses because roses have thorns. Every marriage will face challenges. It doesn't matter if you are married to the Pope or you're married to a lady bishop. Whoever it is, there will be challenges. But the good news is these challenges can be worked out. It just depends on the two people involved, the effort they make, to keep the unity that they began with. Don't think your case is different or your marriage is abnormal. People say things like they want a marriage where there will never be any problem. That doesn't exist. It only exists in Mills and Boons or in Cinderella stories. In reality, every marriage will go through challenges. But one of the things I've seen is that the challenges actually can strengthen your union. Yes, there are some that weaken the union because that is the test. As a child of God and a student of the Bible, we know about the wise man that built his house on the rock and the foolish man that built his house on the sand. Every house had experienced the rain, but what kept one standing was the strength of the structure. So I believe that challenges can make your relationship stronger. I've been through a few with my husband, and one of the things I have noticed in these 19 years that we've only gotten stronger. During our anniversary, when we had this conversation, just me and him, and he was telling me how he felt that our bond grew stronger. That meant a lot to me. Some people really go through things that come to weaken their relationship, and that can be very sad, unfortunately. But basically, in a normal relationship, challenges will make the relationship stronger. Number 2, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. I just say that to mean that we are very different. The reasons why we do the things we do, the reasons why we even get married are somewhat different. Our needs are different. The way we talk is different. Our expectations are different for men and women. And it's funny how we're attracted to each other. Well, there's a common saying that opposites attract. But the truth is, we are very different in the way we think, in the way we nurture, in the way we eat, in the way we think even about sex or communication and everything. We are very different. These differences are not abnormal. Sometimes you hear people say, like, I just can't understand where women are from. But I have seen and I've learned in these 19 years and counting that men and women are very different. So that's a very important thing to take a look at so that you're more patient in dealing with your partner. The 3 things I have learned: marriage won't make you happy. If you don't already know how to be happy, marriage is not going to automatically make you happy. Each of us come into the relationship with our set of trauma, baggages, and whatever. If you don't know how to manage yourself or to embrace joy, you may be putting too much expectation on your partner, too much demand, and that can be very draining. Everybody comes in with a bit of garbage. It's important that you understand that your happiness is, first of all, your responsibility, not the responsibility of another person. You need to be able to find things that make you happy, keep you joyful, even when your partner is there or not, so that you don't drain the other person. We come in to a relationship expecting to receive so much. But the truth is, our marriages test how much we have brought to also give. Number 4, your spouse cannot meet all your needs. No human being has that capacity. And I think that God allowed that so that we can look to Him as our supplier. Your partner does not become your God. He gave that allowance. It relates very closely to the point I just said, a threefold cord. That is you, God, and your partner. The three of you working together because God manufactured the institution. He has the manual, which is the Bible. He has outlined how things can be done if you're a person that goes to the manufacturer's manual to know how it should be done. Your partner does not have that capacity because God wants to still be your God. Let your partner not become your God. There will be certain things that you cannot do for the other person cannot do for you, but God can do for both of you. Number 6, you will not always have sex. Yes. Sometimes somebody may travel, someone may be posted out of town, somebody may be ill. That is not a license for you to commit adultery. It is not the opportunity to find an alternative. When those seasons come, because they will come, every marriage will face a little bit of abstinence, although we all expect that it shouldn't be for very prolonged periods. Some people abstain even for prayer. Abstinence will arise from time to time. You are supposed to be responsible enough to be faithful even in those moments. If you're fantasizing, thinking that, oh, finally, all of the time, you can't even do that. You have to go out and work. You have to go out and attend to one or two things. Somebody has to get up to cook. It can be a superficial fantasy for certain people, but the truth is, there will be seasons of abstinence, and hopefully they will not last long. Your in-laws are your family. Your parents-in-law are your parents. Your brothers-in-law, your sisters-in-law, they are all your sisters and your brothers. This will take away the lot of tension that comes with relating with the in-laws. And when it has to do with, oh, I have to do this for this person, do that for that person, it brings in the fairness and the love that you need. Embracing your in-laws as your own. I remember my mom-in-law before she passed away. I saw her as my mom. Of course, the tribal difference was there. And initially, she seemed concerned that I was not from the same place with them, which happens from where I come from. But I did my best to get along with her. And there was something very significant that happened. 3 months before my mother-in-law passed, I didn't know she was going to pass. I went to visit her as usual. I would always take the children to go spend a day with her and come back to our house. And it was Christmas, so I got her something she loved very much. When I gave it to her, she was shocked that I did that for her. I didn't think there was anything too special. I just thought, well, what else? Am I not supposed to do that? And she got up. She walked out of the house. I had no idea what she was going to do. She went and picked some sand in her hand, earth. Now, if you're from our part in Nigeria and in our village, that means a lot. She came back into the living room and asked me to kneel down. She said, I want to pray for you. What? And I knelt down to pray. My mother-in-law put the earth on my hand, the sand on my palm, and began to make prophetic pronunciations. And each time she put a bit on my hand, she would make strong prophetic declarations over my life. I kept saying amen. It was my most profound encounter with her in all of those years of my marriage, up until that day. Little did I know that she had just 3 months to live, and my mother-in-law passed. To me, it looked like it was the ultimate blessing of our relationship. But that didn't come just from probably being a stubborn or naughty daughter-in-law. It came from consistently making her know that she is my mother. There were certain things I was doing at that time. There were certain ways I always went to check up on her. Shockingly, I don't even do that for my biological mother presently. Honestly, I don't. Not because I love my mom less, But I'm not even that committed to taking my kids there every week to spend the day with her like I do with I did for my mother-in-law. And that brought a profound blessing. There are a lot of things that are going on in my life right now that sometimes I am made to think that it's related to that moment and that encounter. So your in-laws are your family. You will not always do things 50-50. Yes, you can't run a 50-50 marriage. Sometimes one person will give more than the other. A lot of married people sometimes get frustrated, like, oh, but I'm always the one doing this. I'm always the one calling for morning devotion. He doesn't even care. I'm the one always encouraging everybody to go to the house, or she doesn't even care. Yes, that happens in every marriage. There will be times where we can't give 50-50 because we have different strengths. Number 9 thing that I have learned in 19 years of marriage is that roles are not defined by gender. They are defined by needs. What do I mean? In our African culture, especially before maybe the time of my grandparents or great grandparents, the men went out to work, the women stayed home, the women took care of the house. If you want a happy, thriving marriage, that may not always be the norm. That may not be the case. There will be times where a woman has to step up to even do certain things just to make her home work. And the same thing goes for a man. There are certain times a man steps into the shoes of a woman just to make his home run peacefully. These things are defined by our individual needs and in our individual relationships. They don't apply to everybody. I remember when I had my baby years ago, I had surgery and I was in hospital in the north where there are a lot of Muslims. They practice these very traditional roles where the man is a provider, the woman sits at home. At that time, because of our peculiar situation, remember that you have to study your own uniqueness. We didn't have dependents with us. We were a young couple. We couldn't afford maybe a house help, a maid, and all of those stuff. We were just the both of us running our home. My husband rose up to step into that role of really caring and nurturing me. I was on admission in the hospital. He would come, he would cook, he would come and serve me and take care of a few things. I had some friends in church who were so kind. They came around from time to time to help me, do a few things. But they had their own families, so they couldn't be there all the time. I noticed that these Muslim women were always gushing about how lovely my husband was, how kind he was. They were surprised that a man would come and serve his wife and all of that. They loved it, surprisingly. They didn't look down on him and think, oh gosh, this one is a sissy. But he did what he needed to do because there was a need for it. Maybe if I had a housemaid or if my mom or his mom could come and stay at that time, he wouldn't need to do all of that. But he stepped up to meet a need because it was necessary. He couldn't have neglected me in the hospital, or I wouldn't be able to eat good, healthy food because he's there trying to be the man. That is not what makes you a man. Rather, that fueled love in our relationship. And I was surprised that it attracted admiration from the Muslim women. That also was a light to them that you don't need to insist on just being a man for being a man's sake or being a woman for being a woman's sake. Sometimes women are exposed to more wealth in certain seasons. And that does not mean that these things cannot change. They can change. So would you now say, no, I won't do anything? After all, you have to sometimes look at your home, the uniqueness of your marriage, and rise up to just do what works and not necessarily what the society calls normal. As long as you both are happy, you have an understanding, and you're not abusing your relationship, that's fine. There are no hard and fast rules. Number 10, know and speak your partner's love language. Be observant. The 5 love languages by Gary Chapman are very helpful in helping you build a wonderful relationship with your spouse. What are these 5 love languages in case you don't know? Quality time, acts of service, receiving gifts, words of affirmation, and physical touch. You can know that from the way your partner responds to certain things that you do. And of course, now popular opinion has added that there's a sixth love language, and that is money. So if your partner likes money, do well to give them money. Knowing your partner's love language will definitely help fuel a strong relationship. I really want to thank you for watching. I'll complete the remaining in my next video. I do hope you learned something from this, and I pray that it will fuel and make your relationship with your partner rich, and you will enjoy a long lasting, strong marriage. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.